Great girlfriends, get ready for the 2018 Doers and Disruptors Conference in New York City. This year's conference is dedicated to igniting great girlfriends, putting your ideas into motion, and moving the needle to get the results that you desire out of life. Join us June 21st and 22nd in New York City for a 2-day event with brilliant doers and disruptors across various industries who started with an idea and blossomed to become change agents, global influencers, and enterprise leaders. At the conference, you'll gather for workshops, panels, connect groups, dance breaks, light bites, and more while getting tips and resources to fulfill your passion in your personal life, your career, your business, motherhood, relationships, and more. Don't miss this opportunity to join forces with women who are on the same mission as you and experience the excitement and impact that only Brandis and I can bring to life. Get your tickets now at thegreatgirlfriendsconference.com. We'll see you there. Welcome to the Great Girlfriends podcast, where we discuss life, love, laughter, and everything in between. We're your hosts. I'm Sybil Amuti.
And I'm Brandis Daniel.
And before we jump into this week's episode of the podcast, make sure you sign up for our newsletter at
thegreatgirlfriends.com.
And don't forget to leave us an amazing iTunes review.
Yes, that is the payment for listening to this podcast.
I love it. 5 stars all the way. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
What's up, great girlfriends? It's Sybil here, and I'm flying solo this week to bring to you our episode. Brandis and I are in full conference mode, and so if you have not purchased your ticket to Doers and Disruptors, there may be a few tickets left for you. We've got girlfriends coming in from all around the nation and a few from outside of the country. So we're so super excited to host everyone in New York City next week, June 21st, 22nd, with an extra activity on the 23rd. So super excited, and a special shout out and thank you to our partners on this year's conference, which is WeWork. Thank you so much. Thank you so much to the W Hotel Times Square. Thank you to Miss Jessie's. Thank you to Macy's. Thank you to Terra Chips, to Kula. Thank you so much to L'Oreal. Thank you so much to every single person that is coming out on next week. Now, this week's episode is a rewind. We are taking you back to 2016 when our conference was called What Women Want. And the conference panel that we're featuring this week is Relationships Decoded. I believe this has been one of our most popular podcasts because of the transparency that the guys shared in this panel. And if you were in the room during this conference, you could literally feel the energy shift because there was so much taking place between the female and male energy in the room. I'll just put it like that. So I don't want to delay you diving in, but I do want you to grab your pen and paper. And I want to make sure that after you listen to this episode, you head on over to our Facebook group and leave your comments because most of the dialogue is taking place there. And if you're not going to be in New York next week, stay tuned. Be sure to connect with us on social at The Great Girlfriends on Instagram, at Sybil_Amuti on Instagram, and at Brandis Daniel on Instagram. That way you can keep up with all of our stories, all of our posts, and you can keep up with the hashtag TGGCon18 to see all the highlights and make sure you're registered for 2019 when those dates are made available. All right, nothing else here. Enjoy the show. Let's go ahead and get started with Relationships Decoded. We're bringing on 3 panelists that we love and adore. One of our panelists couldn't make it, so we had to do a quick replacement. If we can have our panelists to come forward, Kwaku Amuti. I can safely introduce this man as the most amazing man on the planet. Yes. 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 Welcome. Yes.
Where do I sit?
Yes, you can sit here.
Okay.
Y'all hear all that bass? Where do I sit? Just sit right there, boy. Where do I sit? And Donnell Baldwin, who is a great friend of ours. You're going to love his story. That's all I got to say. Donnell, have a seat here.
Oh. And my nephew, Joshua Brewer. One of our one of our panelists got they came into a flight this morning, and so they're having challenges get here. So my niece walked up to me and she said, "Wait a minute, Joshua." And then I was walking to her sibling. Sybil whispers to me, "Joshua." And so I was like, well, Joshua. So here we go. And then we had one of our amazing great girlfriends. If you listen to the podcast on body confidence, she was absolutely incredible, and she's so funny, so funny. She's a writer. She's written for Essence, Huffington Post. I can't even call them all. She's worked in the music industry. Absolutely incredible. And she's also our great girlfriend, Sybil and I, Raval Davis. And Raval is actually going to moderate this. So Sybil and I are going to enjoy this.
Oh, we got one. No, we got one.
You guys caught Pix 11 News. Oh, we do have one of our guys. Ali is here, y'all. Come on up, Ali. Come on, share. This is perfect. Oh, there it is. If you guys caught Pix 11 News the other morning, okay, you got them. If you caught Pix 11 News the other morning, Brandis and I were on what morning was that? Thursday. Today's Thursday morning. Raval was right after us in the same morning. We had no idea, didn't even pass her in the studio. So it was a great girlfriend takeover on Pix 11 News that morning. Yes. So, and Ali Abdullah, who's the founder of Claim It app and a great guy friend. I'm going to say it like that. Thank you for joining us today, Ali.
Absolutely.
All right. I'm using this one here. Hey, great girlfriends. Okay. So my name is Raval Davis, as you just heard, and I'm a body confidence expert, and I'm an actress, and I'm 100% single, okay? And I don't even know, 100, not like 99 or 75, I'm 100% single, y'all. And I really think the reason why Brandis and Sybil had me to do this is because I am so clueless when it comes to relationships. So I'm the perfect moderator for this panel because I'm about to ask y'all all the real questions, okay? Kwaku told me that I could be real. He said be real. Okay, cool. So I'm going to introduce these guys really quick. Joshua. So I just met Joshua. Joshua, yes. Tell us about your relationship status and... Is it complicated? Is it complicated? Are you single? Are you 100% single? You 25% single? And tell us a little bit about yourself, what you do and all of that.
I do marketing and branding. And I recently moved to New York 2 years ago. I'm from Memphis, Tennessee. We're in the house.
Yeah.
I'm Brandis' nephew. For all you who don't know, that's my mama right there.
Hey, mama.
Now that's who I'm in a relationship with, to be honest.
That's right. Yes. So you're mama's boy? So you're mama's boy? It's all right. Okay. We're going to talk about that. We're going to get into that. So our next panelist is Donnell Baldwin. The mic, yeah. Please pass the mic.
I'm down for the handshake, but I was trying to get the mic. Oh, okay. Never mind, sorry.
You know Donnell Baldwin is the style editor at Mr. Porter. He's very fabulous. We can see he's very well dressed. And he is the other half of, he actually works with his wife, who is Courtney, fabulous Courtney. Where is she? There she is back there. Yes, beautiful. And they both are very stylish people. They style together. We're going to get into talking about husband and wife working together, which is, something very interesting. And also, very interestingly, we're going to talk about this. They were virgins when they married. They waited and they were virgins until marriage. So, very interesting. Now, this is like my brother from another mother right here, Kwaku Amuti. Yes! The other half of the fabulous Sybil Amuti, our great girlfriend co-founder, and he is fabulous unto himself as well. He is a creative director. He has designed some of the graphics for all the brands pretty much. He's amazing. He also has, what is the name of the website that I just read about that you never told me about before?
Proverb. It's an initiative, an online initiative for men.
Yes.
To grow men.
And which I'm going to check out. He's never told me about that. before. I just found out about that, so we're gonna go check that out afterwards. And he has been married to Sybil for 10 years. Come on. 10 years, y'all. And they're perfect, y'all. So I just hope he's not gonna. Don't burst my bubble. Don't burst my bubble of perfection. Y'all are just perfect. They have the perfect house. They're perfect.
No.
Okay. And Ali Abdullah. Hello. Now, Ali, do you have a mic?
I do.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Awesome. So you're gonna have to introduce yourself because I'm just meeting you, Ali. Tell us a little bit about yourself and your relationship status.
Well, I'm a parent, and I'm in a relationship. I am in a relationship.
Okay.
Yeah.
He is 100% taken. Is that what you're saying? So
He's the founder of the Claim It app.
the Claim It app, yes. So, I actually did read about the Claim It app, and you can win stuff on the Claim It app, right?
Yes.
I'm excited about this. I'm gonna check this out as well.
For sure.
We want to win stuff, so. All right, so we're gonna get into some real questions, and this is gonna be real conversational, y'all. So I want y'all to kind of chime in. I'm gonna ask y'all some questions, and we're gonna have a conversation, okay?
Let's do it.
So first, I think I kind of talked about everybody's relationship status, but let's go down the row and talk about how you got to your relationship status. I want to start with Kwaku, because I want to know the fabulous story of Kwaku and Sybil. What was the story? 10 years in, like, how did you get there? How did you discover the fabulous Sybil?
We were a blind date. My first blind date ever. And my boss was her roommate. And so I hadn't dated, and he said, "Would you like to meet a nice girl?" I was like, "Well, yeah, absolutely." And he told me all about her, but then he set us up on a blind date during work. And we spent 2 hours together. And it was interesting because it wasn't one of those stories where it was like, I just knew she was the one. I just knew she was somebody I wanted to see again. And that happened by, at the end of the date, I'm a bachelor. So, you don't, as a bachelor, we don't eat. You can do whatever you need to do. Like, I was good eating a Rice Krispie treat and going back to work, and I was good.
Yeah.
So we got to the end of our lunch date. We didn't even eat lunch. We went out to do a couple other things, just like walk and talk. And when I told her what I was gonna eat, what made it great, what made me wanna see her again was that she stopped me and got like, I'm not furiously upset, but she said, "Oh no, you're not gonna eat that. You're going to go to this deli and buy a sandwich, chips, and a soda."
Yes.
Right. But one of the cool things about that is, and my son's actually hearing this for the first time. What's cool about that was that she, like that sort of, it wasn't commanding, it wasn't fiery, it wasn't anything, but it was for me letting me know that like she was interested in taking care of me. So at that point I was like, okay, we're gonna see each other again, and then again, and then again, and again, and again, we're married.
Wow.
That's the short story.
That's the short story.
That's the short story.
Okay. Okay, well, let's talk to Joshua. You're single. Why are you single, Joshua? You're cute. You're a cute guy. You're cute. What's going on?
I just haven't found the right one.
And what does that mean? Who the right one? How you know?
I really, who's the right one? The right girl for me. Number one, she gotta be fun. She has to be fun. I love to have fun. I am a very fun and lively person. She has to contribute to my growth. I have a lot of ambition. I want someone that contributes to my growth. Mentally and spiritually, those are the two most important factors to my growth that I want to contribute to. Yeah, so if she could do that, and she gotta be pretty.
Okay.
That honestly, looks come first for me.
Joshua. Wait.
He said looks come first.
I have to be careful what I say.
Wait. To the panel.
Look, we got you. We got you. We got
Wait, to the panel, do y'all co-sign that or?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Everybody? Well, Kwaku, you're married to a model, so.
I won.
Okay, well, let's take it down to you, Ali. You're in a relationship. What was that? Now, he gave us a real nondescript, what did you say? You were like, I'm dating someone, I'm taken.
I'm taken.
Okay, what does that mean? You're not married, I don't see a ring. So
not.
you have a girlfriend, what's going on?
Girlfriend. Yeah.
Have a girlfriend of how many years? Months?
A couple years.
Days, weeks?
I mean, if we include the friendship, so a couple years.
Okay,
Yeah.
couple years.
Yeah.
And how'd you get there?
We started as friends. So basically, how we met was I was being profiled in the story, and I went to her and I said, hey, you should write a story on me because I'm smarter than everyone here on your team. And she was like, you're crazy. And we just stayed in touch. We hung out a few times. I met some of her friends, and from there, she was just like, I don't know, I have this thing for you. And I'm like, I think I have something for you too. And we just hit it off.
Nice. Very nice. Okay. So guys, let's talk about what do you think women really want? This is the What Women Want conference, okay?
Start that.
We're going to make this interesting and start off with Joshua. What do women want? You told us what you want.
I would rather ride one of these guys' coattail. They in a relationship.
Okay, well, we'll take it to an expert. Come on, Kwaku.
Yeah, take it
Tell us what women want. They want Beyonce tickets on the floor, right? What they want, Kwaku?
Everything. All the time.
Okay. And how do you deliver? How do you deliver on that?
Well, the thing about it is everything, I don't want people to think about it in a negative way. It's okay to want everything. Like that's not condemnation at all. That's actually, to me, that's liberty. Because then at that point, and it's not that you want everything like right now. Because these things kind of grow and change as you mature as a woman. And we as guys understand that, because what do we want? We want everything. So to be human to me is like to want everything. And that, I don't think that's a negative thing at all. So yes, you want everything.
I agree.
Yeah. Because like if you think about it with a guy, you want him to be smart, funny, tough, good looking, tall, six-pack abs, good job. You know what I mean? And I can keep going. But that's right, well-traveled, speaks a couple different languages. You know what I mean?
But the job.
Maybe has kids.
Underlying job.
It's everything. It's everything. Yeah.
So Donnell, let's bring it to you. Do you co-sign that or?
Absolutely. I think what it is and what I found to be true is that women want a balance.
Okay.
And they want someone to come in, and when they're weak, they want the guy to be strong. And they want to chime in whenever they see that their guy is weak. And I feel like overall it's just about balance. It's all about, if they have, the ability to make the money, then they want to be able to do that. They want the independence. They want it without ego.
Okay.
They want it. They want to be able to cook, but they also want to be able to be cooked for. They want to. So it's. And I'm not a good cook, so. But yeah. So I think it's all about balance, and overall, it's just.
What was that? Okay. All right, Ali.
Yes.
You want to chime in?
I agree with these guys here, man. These guys. No,
Go ahead.
I think a friend first. I think someone they can actually trust. I think what these guys said, someone, like my dad, when we grew up, we didn't have much, right? So my dad would always tell me there's no such thing as a dumb question. And when I worked for President Clinton, he would always tell me, you always need a shoulder to lean on. So I think women, I have a 7-year-old, and so my daughter, we have this great dialogue of texting each other every day when she comes home from school or if I'm away. And I think for her, when I FaceTime her, she just likes to just talk to me about like her day. And so I take that no different from how a relationship works amongst someone you're intimate with. Whereas they just want to sort of have like a friend, a partner, someone they can actually have a shoulder to lean on. So.
And we have two dads I know on the panel. And are you dads at all? Well, let's talk about the importance of the daddy-daughter relationship and how that kind of, rolls into a relationship ultimately. And I know some women grow up not having had a father, and then they face a lot of issues often in relationships. So I want to talk about, has anyone run into that issue and kind of what your thoughts are on that?
For sure. Oh, no, go ahead.
What was that, Josh?
I said I see it all the time. All the time. It's a lot of girls with daddy issues. And
What does that mean? Break it down. Break it down.
I mean, it's a lot of insecurities that come with a girl that doesn't have her father in her life. And I think girls that don't have their father in their life should be very careful because you're very easily manipulated. So be careful. Be careful.
Are you doing any manipulating, John?
No. I try to preach. I try to preach to him. I try to let him know.
Ali, we're gonna speak to a father.
What was the question?
It's just your thoughts on the daddy-daughter relationship.
It's important.
Yeah.
Give your kid as many experiences as possible. I think the way I learn is through experiences and acting, right? So my daughter activities involves around a lot of experiences, going out, having fun, interacting with her friends, her peers, and learning. So it's important. And then what I like to tell her is that like yesterday I was in Cleveland for the NBA Finals, and that was fun. And so I just got back this morning, one of the reasons why I was late. And I told my daughter last night on FaceTime at the game, I had my headphones in, I'm like, I can't wait till you get like a 12 or 13 years old so I can start bringing you everywhere I go. So I think it's important to give her those experiences because, if I was a Debbie dad, like this guy said here, she wouldn't know what I'm up to. So it's important. Yeah.
Do you want to talk
Yeah. I think so. We had our son first, and for me that was really cool because then as a dad, you're like, this is my dude. He's a little me. I can roll with him, and we still, like it's still my guy. But then there's like something that happened. There's something like switching that happened. And again, I don't understand deadbeat dads. I really don't get the whole concept.
Yeah.
But I had a daughter, and then like it was different. It was weirder for me because in my mind I was like, okay, he's gonna grow up to be who I am. He's gonna grow up to try to emulate the things that I do. But the scary part for me was that she's gonna grow up and look for me. You know what I mean? So I think one of the tough parts with like that syndrome that happens when girls don't have a father is that they go out and they look for a fatherly guy. But I guess it takes real like clairvoyance from a guy to realize that, like Josh is out there doing it. Like you can see it, you can recognize it, and you can adjust to it because you don't want to manipulate them. You know what I mean? Because you can't be that. But it's great to know it's actually great to know and recognize when a girl has daddy issues, and it's really prevalent because you can kind of figure out better ways to nurture her because that's all she's looking for. She's really just looking for like the love that however many years she didn't have. You know what I mean? But you have to kind of juggle it and give it to her in a different way, I guess. So yeah, the daddy-daughter thing is very important because, broken women come out of those situations, and that's tough.
I'll start first. No, I was kidding, but I prefer to be last so I could chime in.
Okay.
What I want? I don't want much. All I want to do is just like work, innovate, be a dad, I'm staying home. I'm just a guy that like to just go out, travel, make money. I don't want much. I swear, what I look for personally, I look for someone who I can look at as a peer, not someone I have to carry. So, no, it's true. Yeah, it's true. No, seriously. Like, seriously, that was pretty deep. No, I'm just kidding. No, just like, like someone who's dependent to some degree, right? Where if you have your own space, someone who wants to spend majority of the time at your space because they're living with their parents or whatever it is, or maybe it's financially, or maybe someone who is even motivated to better themselves. Like all those things factor into like taking time out of my day. And no, seriously, and I don't mean that I mean just energy, right? And so like having a company that's worth like a lot of money, you want to be able to be dedicated and have a partner that understands that the goal here is to exit, right? And to potentially put yourself and your family in a position to like liquidate. And if I have a partner that is concerned why I'm in Cleveland last night, or why am I here talking about relationships, or whatever it is, like that's not I don't think that's the ideal part. Yeah, she's not the one for me.
I honestly have to say I got what I wanted, what I prayed for. And I was very specific with what I wanted. And I wanted a friend, I wanted a confidant, I wanted an entrepreneur, I wanted, obviously beautiful. We pointed that out in the beginning. She's got to be pretty. She's got to be sexy. She's got to be able to command attention whenever, necessary. But she's also got to be soft and sweet as well. So, like I said before, just having that balance. And I mean, thank God I found my balance. So, like, that's what I wanted. I wanted someone who could balance me and be my balance and be my everything. And that's what I got. So.
Okay, so we can't talk about relationships without talking about sex, right? And as I shared with you all before, I'm sorry. We're gonna talk about sex. Send him out. Come on and be a father. Come on, yes. And as I shared with you guys before, Donnell and his wife, Courtney, who is also here, were virgins until marriage, which is amazing. My hat's off to you guys. It's awesome. How did y'all do that? Why did you want to do it? How did you do it?
Me, it was kind of like one of the things that my mom had kind of instilled in me when I was younger. And she always told me that I was special. Now, I know that sounds crazy. I'm definitely not a mama's boy, but she told me I was special, and to whomever I gave myself to, partnered with, had sex with, was in company with, had to be special too. And I never forgot that. So whenever I would go on dates, especially like in college and grad school, and she smokes. Okay, well, I don't smoke, and I'm not judgmental, but that's not something I want to do. And that's not something I want to partner with. That's not something that I can really handle. So I had a set of non-negotiables in that as well. And having sex was one of them. So, you had to be cool with that. And that was something that we discussed literally first date. Like, how do you feel about sex? And
how old were you once you guys got married and obviously?
Yeah, so we are going on 4 years of marriage now. In September will be our 4th year, and we were 33. I just turned 37. So yeah, so we waited a really long time. Really long time.
That's real.
Yeah.
That's real.
And to be honest with you, I got to keep it real. It was tough. It wasn't an easy task at most times, especially once we got together. And our story is really a long story, and I can't really share it like right now, but we met 12 years ago, like roughly 12 years ago, dated really hot and heavy, everything was great, lost touch for 5 years, reconnected on Facebook through a mutual friend, and then the rest was history. But over that course of time, I still didn't find that girl. Like I was in a relationship with this young lady who was going to school to be a minister. She was a virgin as well. It was like storybook. Like on paper, it was great, but she wasn't nice. She was beautiful, 5'11", model, all that stuff or whatever, but she wasn't nice. And when I brought her around people, they were like, "Ooh, who is this?" But in my mind, I'm like, well, she's a virgin. She's going to school for ministry. Blah 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 blah. She's good, and praise God, Courtney was still waiting. And once we reconnected, I was like, "Hey, you still waiting?" And she was, and I was like, "Okay, this is what's up. Like, this is great. It's somebody who stood by their convictions and really, wanted someone special." And I just took that as a sign from God that I was her special person.
She's very nice, too.
And she's very nice.
She's nice, too.
Most of the time she's nice.
Most of the time? I meant the nice side today. So we're joined by Sean Blanchard.
Yeah.
Hey, Sean. And I believe Sean is 100% single. 100%, y'all. Not 75, 100%. And he is an author and a speaker. He just released a book. Tell us the name of your book. It has a very interesting name.
It's called How About That for a Crack Baby? Keys to Mentorship and Success.
All right. Yes, voice. Very. Voices, yes. And so we're talking about sex, Sean.
Okay.
So let me tell you, I asked a few of you all for some questions, and I had a very interesting conversation with the makeup girls upstairs. And Sean, I'm going to ask you this, because you're single. Can a situationship turn into a relationship? And so that means, for y'all who don't know what a situationship is, maybe it was a one-night stand, maybe you just hooked up, something had happened. Something happened. I mean, hey, we're women, things happen. Tell us, what can it turn into a relationship? Come on.
Well, so I'll say that diving up in that thing. I'm gonna dive in that thing. So I would say to each his own, right? But at the same time, there's a way to do things to make sure that you can have longevity. I believe a situationship. I've never had a situationship that turned into any kind of relationship. I strayed from situationships in the first place. So I like to say that the way that you enter things is the way that you'll exit things. So, if you enter into a situation, you're gonna end that thing in a situation, right? So I would say it's just the most healthy thing to do to make sure that no matter how awesome things are, and things get hot and heavy and all of that crazy stuff, but if you want longevity, you have to make sure that you expect to put in the work if you want to get the work out of it.
Thank you. That was profound.
Yeah.
I'm with that. What's happening? Okay. Can I hear from Kwaku? Can I hear from one of the married men what your thoughts are on that? Just I'm just saying, my only reason for asking is because here's a man who is married. So he has reached where many people are trying to reach. So I'm just you said I could be real, Kwaku.
Be real.
Come on, be real with me.
Can a situationship turn into a relationship?
Or just no respect
I think it's wholly dependent on who enters the situation.
Okay.
Because mistakes happen.
Yes.
But I think if two mature people, or two people that are maturing, because you're not ever going to get there, but if two people that are maturing enter into it, and then after the situation or whatever, can start to formulate and have the conversations that are needed when you start a relationship anyway, I think it can kind of blend itself and lead into a relationship. The difficulty there happens where if you keep having situations because then the situation dictates the relationship.
Okay.
And let something go wrong, let something happen, let you not talk about being in an exclusive situation.
Right.
And next thing you know, you exit in the situation.
That was some wisdom right there, right, Tracy? Wisdom. Yes, you can say something, Sean, but we're gonna open up the floor for questions. I know y'all have a lot of questions, so just you can line up right here in the middle. Is that okay? Y'all can line up here in the middle and ask some questions if you have them. But Sean is gonna chime in real quick. Here you go.
First off, we're born on the same day, so that's our situation. Me and my brother, you know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to just throw that one out there. That's my bro. And I also wanted to throw this one out there. I'm really big on, when it comes to dating and everything, it's interesting how people date and then over time you hope to get married, right? But I look at dating and that whole concept as practicing divorce, right? So it's kind of like what happens is you date this person, you don't like something, you're out. You date somebody else, you don't like something, you're out. And you do that over and over and over, then you meet this one person, you like, we ain't gonna never be out. But it's gonna be a whole lot of stuff that you don't like, right? So it's like you've been practicing divorce your whole life, but now you're supposed to do it perfectly. So I kind of have a very interesting approach to interaction with ladies, right? Or a woman that I'm interested in. I like to really cultivate a healthy relationship because I think that people in general should cultivate healthy relationships and practice building relationships. Like if you ask somebody, you got a friend that you done had for over 15 years, they'd be like, nah. You ain't got no friends. You know what I mean? Because if you wake up and you wake up next to somebody, but you got to get out the bed to find your best friend, you done married the wrong one, right? So
True.
That's true. All right.
True.
Thank you.
My wife and I's first date, we talked about almost everything. It was almost, when I told my friends, when I got off of the date, they were just like, you talked about that? Like, wow. Like, we talked about kids, sex, her family, my family, school, job. I mean, we didn't talk about salaries during that time, but we talked about like literally everything. And so when you're approaching going on a date, don't be shy. Like ask the questions that you want to know. And if that person is not going to be responsive to your questions, and you already have kind of your answer. You already kind of know, where that date is going to go. But just don't be shy. Be specific,
I mean, you don't want to scare the
Well,
guy
yeah,
away.
that-
But there's,
Like, you don't
yeah,
wanna-
there's,
on the first date, you want to be
wait,
like, what's your credit score?
no, I mean,
That's important.
yeah.
They said that's how you'll know if he's the one or not. Like if he gets scared, he's not the one.
Well, and obviously there's, my life is, I try to keep balance. So basically, and that's my thing or whatever. But maybe you don't ask someone about their credit score. I mean, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, I heard about that,
Yeah,
but there's intelligent dating. There's a way of intelligence. You can get what you need, the information you need out of the person without asking them their credit score. You don't ask them like, do you pay your bills on time?
Tricky about it.
No, but you have to have smart. Okay. Yeah, you can use your intelligence. You know what I mean?
Does he live with his mama? Sorry, that's
Okay.
But you know what I mean? Like, where do you live? Like,
Front row. What's that?
I'm just chiming in. Don't you worry.
I heard
When
something
he said
about.
you don't want to scare them off. Like like he said, it's okay to want what you want. And what happens is as women, we step back like we don't deserve an answer. I told my husband day one, I don't cook. 6 months later, we were married. I've been married 10 years. Oh, we didn't have sex. I didn't give him any. I put it down on wedding night. Okay. And I'm gonna show you how. When I said, babe, I said, listen, I need to tell you something. If I'm not one, I do not cook. I need you to know that. He said, well, I eat to live. 4 years later, he moved my mama in. We're a happy family. That's 10 years on. I'm not talking about 10 months. I'm talking about 10 years on it. So, and that's like dog eaters for most people. So, it's not my turn yet, so I'm going to be good.
one day at a time.
Good answer.
Well, no, I mean, because everybody, like you see that the funny part about 10 years, and I'm sure you can agree, is it doesn't even feel like 10 years. No. You know what I mean? Like, and that's when you know when you're with somebody that's good. When the time that passes, when you can sit back and say, oh my gosh, it's been a year. Oh my gosh, it's been 2 years. Oh my gosh, it's been 10 years. That's how you know that you're taking the time out to live a daily life with this person. Like, I didn't get married to be in it 10 years. I got married to be in it today. And then when I wake up tomorrow, to be in it tomorrow. Because I literally don't know. Like, Sybil is an ever-evolving creature. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I have to, and those who know her know. Like, one day, okay, I'll give you a quick example. One day, her hair is short and black. The next day, it could be blonde and long. But to me, it's like, I've got to be able to flow with her and love her and love, you know what I mean? Like, it's not even the external part. I got to love the internal piece after I figured out that she's fine and I want her. I've got to be able to then start looking at what I have and saying, okay, what are the benefits you give me? And then and you don't have a weakness, what's the development points? Because the development points are where I start to work. You know what I mean? She doesn't have to perfect the good stuff. She's good, she's fine, she's tall, she all that stuff. But she may not be patient. She may not be, you know what I mean, whatever. As an example. But at the end of the day, I think that you get to 10 years by really, really appreciating the person that you've chosen for whatever it is that they have, and actually falling in love with the shortcomings. You know what I mean? Because then those are all of the areas where you have to be strong, and that's it. And every day, if you do that, you'll look up and it'll be 10 years.
You know, I did want to address the question, but I wanted to address the question of the young lady that was over here about the type of date, right? So when we talk about the type of date, I actually like to get the woman in an environment where she's most comfortable, so you don't have to run into the representative, where everything I like is just ever present, right? So it's kind of like, so when you get people around their people and you get to see them how they interact and see how their people interact with them, all kind of stuff come out the woodworks, don't it? You're like, oh, okay.
So where we gotta take you, Sean? We gotta take you to the strip club? Where we get to see the real you? Where we gotta take you?
Yeah, you gotta go to the strip club.
Shoot.
I try to keep it 1,000 right here.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Question over there, the blue dress. I can't see your name. Nyasha.
Yeah, I'm Nyasha from Memphis. But my question is, women have so many standards, but like Parker said, we are going to take this to the grave. We can have everything we ask for, but do men have standards at all?
Can I get this one? Can I get this one? Okay. Can I get this one?
Okay, guys. Shh. What's the rest of your question, Nye? Go ahead, Kwaku. Break it on down.
Well, do we have standards as men? Absolutely. We may come off as really simple creatures, but we are far more observant than you may think. The interesting part about a man is that not you guys, but women in general think that we tend to start and end on the external. The external is important, but I know every guy on this panel has met a beautiful woman who's garbage on the inside. And the thing about it is we've got a radar that can figure you out just like this. Because it's what you say. And then it's backed up by who you are. So, like, we as men, one of the things that I know most of these guys have probably dealt with is the woman who comes off and, who's brazen and shows her independence to you right off the bat. Now, I will tell you, I don't know, guys. Back me up if I'm wrong. But that is not attractive to us. We don't need that. We understand that that's what you needed to survive, and that's what you may still need to survive. But if you're, okay, and there's a difference. A lot of you have dated guys. A lot of you have dated guys. There's still guys out there. There are guys walking the street. But you'll know it. And here's the thing. Show of hands from the women who have actually dated men, and you know the difference. Okay. So there's an absolute, but this thing, there's an absolute difference and there's an absolute standard. We hold that standard. The thing about it is, yes, we want you to be pretty, but then we also want you to be able to, like our commodity is respect. And by respect, we don't need subservience. No, but what we mean about it, okay, I'll tell you my personal story. The thing that outside of her beauty that attracted me to Sybil was she figured out multiple ways to uplift me in the moments when I was weakest. So she had the clairvoyance as a woman to see when I was weak, and she could just insert a word. She could just figure out, sometimes I would be on my computer trying to figure out if I can actually do the career that I've been doing for 15 years. And she would just walk by and knew to run her fingers across my back, and that was enough to propel me to the next level. So the thing about it is, yes, but to answer the question, we have standards. Now they do fluctuate a little bit. Like there may be like 4 or 5 that we have, and we'll order them differently on a list. You know what I mean? Some guys, sex may be number 1. Some guys, you know what I mean? Autonomy may be another one. But they're not that big. The list is not that deep, but we know when we find it.
But answer her question, what does it look like?
What does a guy with standards look like?
How do you see that?
There you go. There it is. And there it is. Wait for the people.
Okay, actually, so I've been given the 5 minutes, maybe like 10 minutes ago, y'all. I know you have so many questions, but can you guys just give me I have 2 minutes. Can y'all close it out? Give us some final thoughts. We're going to start with you, Sean.
Situational standards. I think that when you meet a man, whatever, or a guy on his way to being a man, when you meet a male, basically, there's situational standards. He may be in a time in life where he's just trying to play, so his standards are based upon all physicalities. But then there's situational standards where a man, he's spirit-led. This man knows what he's about. He has his career in focus, and he's looking for his wife. And so that man has a different level of standards. And what he look like? Well, he could look like me on both sides of the spectrum, honestly, right? But it's a matter of interacting with that man and understanding where that man is to really understand those standards.
Okay. Joshua.
Do situationships end in relationships? No. That would never, for me, I would know. Especially not the secret situationships, the ones where you really the ones where you kind of behind the scenes, the low key girl that nobody knows. No, he's never gonna be your boyfriend. Never.
That's real. Let's be real.
That's real.
Let's see. The perfect date. The perfect date for. I can't remember whether you was talking about to get the man wide open or for the man to be able to see you. But I just recently learned that food takes a man's guard down. When a man is eating, he relaxes. Yes, I recently learned. No. I learned this knowledge from someone else. I just turned 25 Monday.
Joshua's 25, y'all. So keep that in mind. Happy birthday.
Age, young and old is a state of mind, if you ask me.
All right.
I'm actually older than a lot of guys.
Wait, was that he?
That was
older women.
That was a read.
Yeah,
ladies.
I prefer older women.
Okay, I have no more minutes. Closing thoughts.
say,
Donnell.
I'm gonna make it quick. So like 50, coming into a relationship with thinking that you can only bring like 50% of yourself, like wipe that out. Take your single moment to really be your best self. Do everything that you want to do for yourself. Travel, hang out with your friends, better yourself, read, enhance your career, go do, any type of self-help thing so that you're coming to the relationship 100%. And you'll find your 100%, or your 100% actually will find you while you're on your mission, on your journey. So don't think that you have to come halfway. Be your whole self. Take the time and cherish this moment. Cherish your singlehood for those who are single.
Man, there's power in femininity. And I don't see it practiced as much as I think it should be practiced. Femininity is powerful. Feminism is emasculating to a man. You can be feminine and absolutely powerful and get everything you want and get it any time from any man, whatever. We're caught off guard by femininity. We're actually trained. A real man is trained to respond to femininity. So that's where your power is.
Thank you. That was good right there. That was a word. Okay, Ali. That's hard to follow, right? Go ahead, Ali. You got something. I know it. What you think?
So my closing statement will be, I agree with these guys, but
That's good.
no, I think I'm gonna talk about myself. Be open-minded. Be willing to learn. And one of my favorite quotes is from one of my mentors is that in any relationship he's in, he recruits, right? So in some degree, we recruit the women that we want to date as well, right? So he would say, you must recruit someone that are over themselves. So, and that's important because, when you're like one of these, I think someone mentioned, I think you mentioned something about hiring or something like that, or, when you, one of my teachers would tell me that, do you want to hire talent? Do you want to hire someone who has the ability to be able to find the untapped potential? And so that's a little bit about myself. I just try to make sure that I'm willing to learn and then try to remove my ego from a situation where I can better the relationship.
Thank you. Can I ask one more question or close it out? I can ask one more question.
You said, what are the dark years of how did you say it? How do you
love someone through the dark days?
What are the dark years? Man, I think that personally, and I'm not perfect, but again, I think that you've already recognized a really, really good thing about relationships. So you're already way ahead that relationships do have seasons. Like, it's foolish to think that I'm going to be the same and you're going to be the same and 10 years later we're going to be the same or whatever. There may be times when he's up and you're down, you're up and he's down, or you're both down at the same time. And what those dark points look like, well, I think you have to be able to set a number of legitimate rules in your relationship to cover for those times, like how you talk to each other, how you argue, what you argue about and what's off limits. And you're not doing it for the good times more than you're doing it as a safeguard or insurance for the dark places that you're going to be in any sort of deep relationship. Man, I think that, I would say as a man, if you're feeling that way, it's not wrong for you, and you got to know your man, but I don't think it's wrong for you to express that. Because what we're programmed to do is when we encounter a problem, we go find a solution. So if therapy's your thing, it may be therapy. If it's let's take time off and send the kids to mom's and let's just spend some time talking, because we don't do that because we're ships passing in the night. Like, it may be whatever it is, but I think that I speak for all guys, we don't understand all of the emotions that go on in your head in a given day. Like, and I think what happens, how I like to think of it is this, it's like there is a play going on with a full script, but I don't know my part. That's exactly what he said. So but here's the thing. Now, you will be doing a disservice to that man if you say, well, I don't have to tell you, you should know. No. We don't know. Like, we don't know half the time. So for us, cue me. If you cue me, you don't have to walk me all the way through, but just give me my inspiration. Just say, like, okay, right. I'll tell you one that happens in my house personally. When I am not being the leader that I should be. We got the zero. I got the Oscar music. I mean, when I'm not being the leader I should be, Sybil comes up and tells me, she says it plain, babe, I'm not feeling led right now. So would you please let me know the plan so that I can act accordingly, because I don't want to do it by myself.
All right.
Now, me as a man, I react to that quick. I'm like, okay, cool. Even if I don't know the plan, let me stop what I'm doing. And it's like, all right, let me figure this out.
Yes. Thank you,
But it's
Parker.
like, but talk to us. We're open.
Thank you so much. Yes. And thank you guys for listening. We got to close it out. We on negative minutes now, y'all.
We could not end this podcast without thanking our amazing husbands.
Yes, thank you, Kwaku.
And thank you so much, Rich Daniel.
And our beautiful children. Thank you, Sam and Dylan.
And thank you, Miss Sky Daniel.
And thank you to all of you great girlfriends for trusting us as your go-to source for everything life, love, and laughter.
You can check us out on our social, on Instagram,
The Great Girlfriends,
on Twitter,
_Great GFS,
and on Facebook,
The Great Girlfriends.
And please make sure that you join our Facebook group, which is over 16,000 women strong.
Absolutely. And make sure you listen every single Wednesday on iTunes, Spotify, Podcast Bean, Podcast Republic, Google Play, and every other podcasting service.
Absolutely.
Be sure to post your questions, share with your friends. Keep listening and keep being a great girlfriend. I'm Sybil.
And I'm Brandon.
And we're signing off.
Peace.
Peace.